Hey Samford fans, welcome into another edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up presented by Coca-Cola. I'm John McAfoose, happy to be joined today by Rod Tiffin, the Samford Track and Field head coach. Rod, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks John, thanks for having me.
Well, let's start by talking a little bit about the youngness and the inexperience on these teams. I know it's a little bit different than past years, just a little bit younger. What has that been like so far this year?
It's been kind of fun, you know, you kind of get to reteach things and things that you take for granted, and you see with these young people making some mistakes, but it's been fun. It's been fun to go back and kind of start over again with the young group.
You're through your first two meets of the indoor season. Just kind of give us some general thoughts of what you've seen out of the team on both sides so far.
Well, I think we're talented. You know, I've seen a lot of good things from our young people, but we're young. So, you know, till you line up in that conference championship, you never really know what's going to happen.
What do you look for in these early meets? Is it really more about the individual improvement, or are you looking at the results in these first couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think every week we're just trying to get better. You know, we go out to work on certain things every week, and we try to get a little bit better and a little bit better, and hopefully we'll be ready to go by the conference time.
Talk a little bit about some of the individual performances. You had a couple of SoCon athletes of the week last week, Mackenzie Ho, Justin Stuckey. What have you seen out of them?
Yeah, those guys are, you know, of course, Mackenzie as a freshman is just phenomenal. She's the second best. Her time in the mile was the second best time as a freshman in the country this year so far, and Justin just continues to get better. So we're really excited about those two. But you know, we've had a ton of you know, Maggie Johnson has always been great for us in the throws, and then Titus Moore and Emmanuel Tate have both qualified for the Indoor U.S. Championships this year already. So it's been a pretty good year so far already.
Anybody else that maybe was a little bit under the radar that you've seen kind of take a big step forward this season?
Yeah, you know, I think Justin is one of those guys that we weren't sure exactly what was going to go on with him this year, and he's came back as one of our team leaders and just really stepped it up this year, and not only just in competition-wise, but just like I said, as a leader on our team, and it's been nothing but good.
You've got another meet this weekend, the Jaguar Invitational, and it is here in Birmingham. Just give us a little preview of that.
Yeah, so we're over there Sunday afternoon. We'll be over there most of the afternoon, and you know, it's a smaller meet. You know, track and field is such a crazy sport. It's like a three-ring circus, I say sometimes, but be 20, 30 teams over there. But this is going to be a smaller meet, which is good for us. It'll be about 8 to 10 teams, and it will allow us to get some extra jumps, to get some extra throws. You know, everybody should make finals, those kinds of things. So it allows for a little bit more competition for us, and you know, and get some more things done. But we're kind of just moving towards wrapping things up, wrapping up our training season, and getting ready to start that conference push.
Yeah, and then the indoor championships will be here before you know it, less than a month away. It comes pretty quickly. And just give us some of your goals and expectations. I know the expectation is always to win. The women have won 4 straight. What are some of your goals on both sides?
Yeah, you know, we would of course, we'd love to win both sides, and that's kind of always the goal for us, and what we push for and what we strive for. But we're young, so we'll see. You know, we're definitely, you know, we're not the favorites right now. I think if you put it on paper, then we've got a really talented team that can win on both sides, but you never really know till you step in that arena. You know, going to Lexington, it's a long trip for us. It's, you know, most of the season we're over at the Crossplex, and so it's being at home, almost basically home meets every weekend. So us traveling for the first time and going to Lexington and Lexington, Virginia to VMI and competing there, you know, it's different. So we'll see.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck for the rest of the indoor season.
John, appreciate it.
That's head coach Rod Tiffin. Stay tuned. We've still got an interview with sophomore Justin Stuckey coming up next.
Hi, I'm Sam Pritchard, and this is the Samford Sports Minute presented by Bromberg's. The men's tennis team had the week off, but will have its home opener this Saturday against Kennesaw State. The Dogs also played North Alabama at home on Wednesday. The women's tennis team beat Lipscomb and Arkansas State by scores of 6-1 last weekend. They're at home on Sunday against Kennesaw State at noon. The men's basketball team had a couple of tough losses against UNCG and Chattanooga. The Dogs head out of town this weekend to take on Wofford before returning home on Wednesday to take on Western Carolina. The women's basketball team continued its hot start to SoCon play, winning its 3rd and 4th games in a row against ETSU and Western Carolina. The Dogs will look to keep that streak going as they face off against UNCG on the road on Saturday and Furman back at home on Thursday. The track and field teams had the week off but are back in action on Sunday in the Jaguar Invitational held at the Birmingham Crossplex. And finally, the Samford softball team was picked to finish 5th in the SoCon preseason poll. Merrica Hoon, Whitney Hinton, and Katherine Jackson were all named preseason second team All-SoCon. The Dogs open the season next Friday at home. I'm Sam Pritchard, and this has been your Samford Sports Minute presented by Bromberg's.
Hey Samford fans, welcome back to the Samford Sports Wrap-Up presented by Coca-Cola. I'm joined now by sophomore Justin Stuckey. Justin, appreciate you being here, and why don't we start by just you kind of telling Bulldog fans a little bit about your background and what brought you to Samford.
Well, I'm from Helena, Alabama. Obviously, home of Coach Tiffin. He lives like 5 minutes down the road from me. I'm a sophomore here, did 3 sports in high school. Coming out, Didn't really expect to do track in college, but God opened up some doors for me, and I'm here, and I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, you said you didn't really expect to do track. Were you looking at maybe playing a different sport originally?
Yeah, I was definitely looking at playing football or basketball. Thought I was going to go down to football coming out of high school. Some things really didn't work out, and I was blessed to have a good season in track and field and open up some doors, and now at Samford doing what I love to do.
So why high jump? When did you start doing that, and how did it lead to you kind of becoming a high jumper at the collegiate level?
Well, in 8th grade, Coach George, she was our middle school coach back then, she just said, come out and do track, and I want you to start here and go run over some, jump over some bar. I was pretty athletic, so I just started doing it for fun, and I really did track to stay in shape for like football and travel basketball and all those things during that time period, and it just kind of, I just kind of got good at it and developed a small family out there in the track world, and Helena is known for like having a lot of good high jumpers, and just kind of went from there.
You guys have got 2 meets in the book so far in this indoor season. You've had some early success. You won the high jump at the Samford Invite last week. We're the SoCon Athlete of the Week. Just talk a little bit about your early season success and what you've seen out of your own performance.
Well, I've definitely put in the work more this year than I did so last year, and credit to the hard work. It's starting to pay off early, and that's what I like to see. I got the SoCon Athlete of the Week, which is a blessing, but there's definitely a lot more work to be done and a lot more routes to go, keep going. I've definitely had some early success. Currently sitting at like top 30 in the nation right now, which is pretty good, but I have really high goals, so I just got to keep going and keep trekking, and I really do want the team SoCon championship for the men's side this year. We fell second place last year, and we don't do seconds. We got to get that first place.
When you look back at last year, your freshman campaign, what were some of the things that you wanted to improve upon going into your sophomore year?
Definitely coming into college, you have to get acclimated to all new types of things, and for me, it was the weather. Being used to being in the gym in December and January and having to be outside and having to push through those type of conditions, just the mental toughness was what I wanted to improve on, and coming ready every practice, because practices are more important than the meet because they translate over.
And the indoor championships are going to be here quick. Indoor season goes really, really fast. And you talked a little bit about you want the team success. Just what would you like to see goal-wise for yourself and the team moving forward?
For myself, definitely try to make the NCAA Nationals indoors and outdoors. For the team, got to get the ring. Last year in indoors, we had a lot of injuries that took away our chances to win. And in the outdoor, we had a good campaign, but we fell up like 3 points short. And we've all been putting in a lot of work this fall and into this early part of the season, and we just wanted to put on display and show people why they need to respect us and respect track.
Justin, appreciate your time. Best of
Thank
luck
you.
the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Special thanks to Rod Tiffin and Justin Stuckey for joining me on this edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up presented by Coca-Cola.